All righty then. Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show video live stream for Friday, December 5th, 2025 at 7:01 a.m. local time when we start the broadcast. I'm Ken Lundberg. Over there is, yeah, Mike Weibel is not in his chair right now. And so I think he might have overslept. So we are doing our best to raise him at this point, and we will I'll probably keep the broadcast here brief until we get Mike back in the chair there. But did want to cover a couple of things. We just talked about on the radio how the color of the year for 2026 has been chosen by Pantone. They're one of the color companies. So if you're interested in understanding what the color of the year is for next year, look at Pantone and their website and why they chose it and everything. But basically, it's an off-white. It's a shade of white. Cloud Dancer. They say at this time of transformation, when we're reimagining our future and our place in the world, Pantone 114201 Cloud Dancer is a discreet white hue offering the promise of clarity. So white is apparently the color of next year. So that's interesting. Some of the previous colors that the Institute has chosen, if it has made a difference for you. Let's see, Pantone 171230, Mocha Mousse. Remember that when we talked about that, the Mocha Mousse? That was a warm brown hue imbued with richness. Pantone 131023, Peach Fuzz. And Pantone 181750, Viva Magenta was Pantone's 2024 and 2023 year colors, respectively. So anyway, the Pantone Color Institute, if you wonder what they do, they spend their time analyzing trends across fashion, current events, technology, and a whole lot more to identify the shades of color that are shaping society before ultimately deciding on each new color of the year. Okay. That's enough of that. There is a driver survey that I'll talk about later this hour, but I'll give you a preview of it. Lending Tree did this survey. Why Lending Tree did this survey, I don't know. Maybe they've got an interest in insurance, but driving, as we know, can be very dangerous. It's one of the most dangerous tasks we do on a daily basis, and our own good driving is only half the equation because there are other people on the road. Driving habits of those around us play a pivotal role. So Lending Tree did a survey. Lending Tree Research did a survey, and they found a few interesting facts about drivers. And one of the things that they found, got to adjust this. One of the things they found was that North Dakota has the worst drivers in the United States. We'll go through this more in detail, and tell you a little bit more, but they have the worst drivers in the United States. The research also found that the best drivers in the United States are in Michigan, right here in Michigan. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, we'll go to news. We'll get some local news here, and then we'll come back in a couple of minutes. But this is the WSJM Morning Show, and I put a wake-up call into Mike Weibel. Hopefully he'll join us here in a few minutes. If he doesn't, we'll do an early end to the broadcast this Friday morning. But do stay warm out there because it's incredibly cold, okay? Be safe. It feels like -2 in St. Joe. I think it was -5 in Dowagiac this morning as far as the feels like goes. We'll be back in just a moment with local news.
Cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05. The WSJM Morning Show continues. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's Friday, December 5th, and it is a very cold start to the day. It's dangerously cold out there. A brutal Arctic blast is saying hello. We're saying hello right back with we can see our breath in the air. It feels like -2 in Benton Harbor right now. In St. Joseph, the feels like temperature is also -2. Up in South Haven, it feels like -1. Out in Dowagiac right now, it still feels like -5. The temperatures are in the single digits in a lot of places. We've got double digits in Benton Harbor where it's 11, 13 in St. Joseph. New Buffalo is 10 degrees. Buchanan was one of the coldest spots this morning. They've improved a little bit, but it still feels like -3 in Buchanan right now. The forecast for today understandably includes freezing fog. Yeah, even the fog is feeling it. Freezing fog is potential this morning, so do be careful of that, especially if you're driving through that. All of a sudden, things start icing up. The roadway could be a bit slippery. Then partly sunny skies will emerge later today. A high around 25 degrees. Winds are going to be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour, but gusting up to 20 miles per hour. That's going to keep it incredibly cold. Tonight's forecast, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, a 20% chance of snowfall, low around 23, southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then Saturday's forecast, we're looking at a Saturday with mostly cloudy skies, a 20% chance of light snow showers, high around 30, and winds out of the west 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday could be our snow event of the week. Now, currently, they're only calling for 60% chance of snow showers with some light accumulation possible, and a high around 28 and a low around 20. But again, that light accumulation might turn into something a little bit more. They're keeping an eye on it. So again, Sunday could be our snow day. Cloudy skies, 60% chance of snow showers, and that light accumulation possible. As we turn the corner into next week, Monday's going to be mostly cloudy. It's still going to be cold, high around 20, low around 7. Tuesday, a little better. Cloudy skies, a 30% chance of snow, higher around 32 degrees. Wednesday, cloudy, a 50% chance of maybe a rain-snow mix. So midweek next week, cloudy skies, 50% chance of rain, snow. The high is going to be around 36 degrees. That's going to cause some of the issues. And then Thursday, not until Thursday, don't see anything as far as lake effect snow. But then on Thursday, we might have a 40% chance of lake effect snow with a high around 25 degrees. Okay, some of the local news that we are following from the WSJM newsroom. A South Haven police sergeant has filed a federal lawsuit against the city, alleging he was passed over for promotion in retaliation for supporting another officer's discrimination case. According to the claim, Sergeant Pat Carlotto says city officials told him he would not be hired as police chief due to what they described as trust issues and personal baggage. The lawsuit points to his role as a witness in a discrimination case filed in 2022, which was later settled. Carlotto served twice as interim chief, but was never selected for the permanent role. 2 permanent chiefs were instead hired, and both later left the position after short periods of time. The city has not yet responded to the lawsuit. Questions about potential data center development in Berrien County were raised during Thursday's county board meeting. County Administrator Brian Doucette said he's not currently aware of any proposed data center projects in the county and said he would provide that assessment to the person who raised the questions in writing.
Put simply, the county has no tax abatements, no incentives that have been brought forward. There is no developer that the county is talking to. To the best of my knowledge, the township does not have any developer actively courting them. But with all of that said, I'll take time and put pen to paper.
The issue was raised because there's been a lot of recent controversy about the beliefs of what data centers do as far as the resources that they consume and what they do for a neighborhood character. Doucette noted that Area Economic Development Group Cornerstone Alliance had previously marketed a site in Benton Township for possible data center location, but so far has not secured a developer. Proposed state legislation offering tax incentives for data centers supported by Joey Andrews previously stalled amid concerns over water and power usage. Corewell Health Lakeland Hospitals has awarded $55,000 to the United Way of Southwest Michigan to support the Be Healthy Berrien initiative. The funding will help improve recreation opportunities and access to nutritious food across the community. Be Healthy Berrien Director Dawn Marie Smith says the initiative, launched in 2010, brings organizations together to improve local health outcomes.
So, for example, we work with municipalities and the Planning Commission, as well as Friends of Berrien County Trails, to improve the trail system. We work with the City of Benton Harbor and Berrien County Health Department to execute the Benton Harbor Farmers Market.
Smith says the funding will strengthen collaboration among partner organizations heading into the next year and will also support neighborhood leadership programs and efforts to explore a year-round farm hub. That's a look at some of the local news that we have in the WSJM newsroom. We've got more to talk about this hour. It's 7:10. We'll talk about who has the best and the worst driving habits in the United States. There's a new research study out, and I think you'll be surprised. maybe pleasantly surprised where Michigan lands. We'll talk about that. That's coming up here on the WSJM Morning Show. We've got sports.
Sports on the Michigan News Network.
Okay. If you've noticed already, you joined the video live stream. Oh, look, there's Mike. Mike, are you on your way in? Anyway, let's see. Go ahead and text me if you have an update there. Anyway, so we've got Mike Weibel. He's on the video live stream, or in the chat on the live stream, but I don't see him in the chair over there. So I'm curious if he's on his way in. Mike, are you on your way in? So we'll talk a little bit about the driver thing coming up in just a few moments. Okay, the driver survey. Here we go. Yeah, I'll bring that up in just a moment. Oh, this one came out yesterday. Sorry, I was looking at space stuff. There was a story that came out yesterday. There was a NASA-led study showing that there is an increasing number of satellites in low Earth orbit that are ruining images from some telescopes and observatories. So here, hang on just a moment. One second, sorry. Okay, so there's a NASA-led study that shows an increasing number of satellites in low Earth orbit are ruining images from orbiting telescopes and space observatories. And that increasing number could be ruining up to 96% of the images. So the image that they showed was, okay, you're looking at the Andromeda galaxy or something along those lines, and then there are all these little vertical and horizontal lines, mostly horizontal lines, askew, and they're placed over the images. Because if you're going to take a picture of something that's light years away, you've got to leave the exposure open for a while. Well, then the lights from the satellites that are orbiting around are crashing your photo, and it's causing a lot of problems. And they say the urgency starts in the moment we're seeing a very rapid increase in the number of satellite constellations, in particular, satellites that are in orbit right now, but not so much those, the satellites that are being proposed. So even more than what's already out there. That's according to Dr. Alejandro Borloff, research scientist at the NASA Ames Research Center and the co-author of the study. He said, before these satellites become operational, we need to figure out what would be the consequences for telescopes if there is in any way if there's any way to mitigate the problem, the issue. So there are issues not just with the little lights on the satellites, but they reflect sunlight as well. They reflect light that is reflected off the Earth, infrared and radio waves as well. And the study found that some of the reflected sunlight can create bright streaks that obscure cosmic images, including one of the Hubble Space Telescope image of interacting galaxies. Researchers refer to those streaks as satellite trails, which are not visible to the naked eye. So anyway, it's ruining pictures. NASA's concerned about it. We will talk a little bit more about it. Okay. I'm going to conclude the video live stream here. We're going to be back on the radio. This is the WSJM Morning Show. We're back if I get Mike in the studio as opposed to on the video live stream later on today. Sorry about that, and thank you.